Happy Tuesday, everyone. You know the husband is home when it is on 60s gold. 81 degrees. Oh my God. We gotta take it out. Oh my Lord. I do not like listening to that. There we go. This is more like it. Deep house. Chill. Yep. Chill. How is everybody doing? The moon looks beautiful. I got to record some of it. See? It's over there. I am doing much better today. Not so much because the husband's home. I'm glad he's here. I really am. You know, I wanted him here for Thanksgiving, you know? I'm not disputing that at all. I'm glad he's here. I've been a little grouchy with him today. Cause why? Oh yeah. I almost forgot. See, I forget things. Excuse me. He was watching Corn. Now don't panic, you all. Just wait what I have to say first. What I mean by corn is the women wrestling corn. Not corn as in corn, you know, but like not those sites. But I really hate that he watches that. I'm like, why are you watching that? And he's like, what? You know, he's on his phone scrolling, mind you. And I'm like, those women, they're like half naked and it's like crotch to face, you know? I don't like that. And I said, but you know what? That's fine. That's fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna look for something where I can watch young guys. Half naked young guys. Yep. That are like doing something similar. I don't know. Dancing. I don't know. I'll figure it out. And he's like, well, you're the one over there watching devil stuff. And that's why we don't have any peace in this house. And I'm like, here we go again. He thinks The Walking Dead is from the devil. He thinks that I was watching Terror in the Woods or something like that. On that one channel, on Travel Channel. And he's like, you're watching devilish stuff. And I'm like, it's about Bigfoot. Get over it. I really like Bigfoot. I want to find a Bigfoot. I hope somebody finds him, you know? I hate that it's such a mystery. And I said, it's not devilish. And, you know, The Walking Dead, I watched since it came out. So, you know, it's over. So get over that too. It's already over. I watch it because there's nothing else on, you know? And, okay, let me fix my rearview mirror. So that's why I watch it. And he's like, well, I've been watching wrestling for 40 years. And I said, yeah, 40 years ago, they didn't have women half naked wrestling each other, putting their crotch to somebody else's face. You know, I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. And I think it's corn. Of course, I use the other word, right? You substitute the C for the P. And he's just like, you're not going to tell me what to watch. And I said, oh, so I'm not going to tell you what to watch, but you can tell me what not to watch. Got it. And he started up again with, well, you watch things of the devil, all satanic stuff. And he goes on and on and on. And I'm like, and you don't think that's satanic? What you're watching, you don't think that's satanic? You don't think that's from the devil? You know? You don't think that they went from men wrestling to, yeah, let's add the women in there just for fun. Yeah, the men will love it. You don't think they thought that? I said, no. I am not in agreement with this. So we kind of argued about that for a bit. I just can't get him to see that it's wrong, that it's not right to be watching that. So that's why I'm compromising now. And I'm like, okay, you know what? He doesn't know this, and he doesn't have to know this. But, you know, I used to, well, how should I say? I didn't follow them. Some aesthetic boys on the Instagram, I used to get on there and I would follow them. And, well, I didn't like follow, like I didn't like press the follow, but I would watch them. So I'm like, okay. And then I felt bad. I felt guilty about it. I'm like, I shouldn't be watching this. I'm a married woman, you know, well, common law, domestic partner, whatever, you know. I shouldn't be watching this stuff. But I'm like, you know what? I just might go back and look for it. I don't know. There's this Chinese guy, or I don't know. I think he's Chinese. Maybe he's not even Chinese. Maybe he's Asian or something. I mean, that made no sense whatsoever what I just said. Y'all don't listen to me. He's an Asian guy who is a DJ, very, very handsome. I would feel guilty about looking at him. He would have his shirt off and he would be like thrusting and all to the music. So I would be like, okay, I should not be watching this guy. So I would click off, you know. And I've been doing that lately. You know, any guy that comes out on the Instagram half naked, I don't care what they're doing, I click away, you know. But now, you know, I'm just going to reconsider. I'm going to reconsider. Because I'm like, no. If he can watch that, then I can watch this. Yeah. Telling me that The Walking Dead is devilish and Bigfoot is devilish. Okay, maybe he is. Maybe Bigfoot is devilish. I don't know. When are we going to find out? When are we going to find out what he is, you know? But, yeah, he's watching the women wrestling. Anyway, let's see here. How can I do this? I want to show you all. You can't see it. You cannot see it. I'm trying not to show myself. I'm trying to show you all my ponytail. And I don't know how to do it without showing myself. Can you all see it there? I don't know if it's showing on the camera. Probably not. Let's see. Let me try. Okay. This way? No, that's not working. Okay, this way again. Okay, you all. I am trying to show you my ponytail. It is a ponytail that I'm probably going to wear to my funeral, my own funeral, because I need a haircut really bad. No, you really can't see it over here either. I need a haircut really bad, and my husband's like, schedule an appointment. I'm like, husband, it's $80. It's $80 for a haircut. I'm not gonna go to, I was gonna say Salon Select. I'm not gonna go to Supercuts. Hell no. So, you know, I gotta go to the Ulta. You know, even though last time that I went, the girl gave me a wolf haircut for some reason. Like, can you imagine somebody my age with a wolf haircut? No. I'm not trying to be younger, you know. No, just no. So I just need like a trim. That's all I need. I need a shape. I need some shape to my hair, because right now my hair has no shape whatsoever, and I'm wearing it like in a 70s kind of bun, or not a bun, but a ponytail. And with my glasses, it doesn't help any. It just makes it look even worse, you know. So I'm like, no, we got to do something. I'm gonna wait till January. I'm waiting till January for sure to get it cut. Let's see if this will work. Let's see. You can. No. No. What about there? There? No. I'm trying not to. There's part of my face. I am a brunette. There's some of it. I don't know. You all, like, just trust me. It's a 70s ponytail. Yeah, and with my pink glasses, you know, like, it's not working. It's not working. But anyway, you know, speaking of looking ages, I don't mind the way I look. If somebody would be like, yeah, you do look that age, which is, I'm not going to reveal my age. Some of you probably already figured it out. Some of you probably already researched it. Some of you probably already did a background check on me and know more about me than I do. But here's the thing. It doesn't bother me for anybody to tell me, like, yeah, you look your age. You know, like my age, whatever my age may be. It doesn't bother me. Why? Because I want to look my age. I'm not trying to look younger. I'm not trying to look 20 years younger. Why? Why would I want to do that? Like, I've seen these women on... Okay, I need to turn this down a bit because it's like making me lose my train of thought. But I don't want it completely quiet. How about... No, see, that's like too quiet. Ugh, I need to get a wax. I need to do my eyebrows. And my upper lip. Come on, don't tell me y'all don't have that issue. Is it only us brunettes that have that issue? I don't think so. I can't get this. It's still too loud, isn't it? Yeah, that's still too loud. Well, maybe it's just the song. Okay, so anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, age. I've seen women on the Instagram, they have those puffy lips, they get nose jobs, they get their eyes done. That I wouldn't mind. I've had hooded eyes all my life, so I wouldn't mind that, you know. But they get implants on their cheeks or in their cheeks. They get this done, whatever you call that, fat sucked under your chin out, you know, like they get all this work done. And then the worst part is when they put it all on their butt. I'm not saying they put the fat from their face in their butt, but they might as well, you know, because they get these huge butts. Why? What is the obsession with butts? Because of J-Lo? Because of Kim Kardashian? Because Selena, may she rest in peace? You know, but what is this obsession? You know, you're either born with it or you're not. Honestly, I don't get it. You know, I really do not get it. Any man that would look at you because of the size of your booty is not worth being in your life. He should fall in love with your inner beauty, not the outer. Now, I'm not saying, oh, you know, don't take care of yourself. Some men will automatically go to that side of the street where they'll be like, well, if she's ugly, but ugly and pretty inside, yeah, I don't want her. I don't want to be seen with her. Okay, like, I'm not saying that at all. Yes, take care of yourself. Maintain an ideal weight. You know, get your hair done, get your haircuts, unlike some people that we know. And, you know, get your waxes, get your nails done. You know, maintain your beauty, yes. But at the end of the day, make sure that it's the inner beauty in you that's radiating out. And that's what's attracting these men to you, right? And make sure that it works both ways, men. You know, it's not all about looks with you either. You know, I cannot stand a man that is good looking and he knows it, and you can just tell by his rotten attitude that he thinks he's just all that in a bag of chips, you know? I just don't get anybody that's really full of themselves. That's really narcissistic. It's not even self-confidence. Self-confidence should be a godly confidence, not that worldly confidence, which is narcissistic, where they just can't stop looking at themselves. They have to look at themselves every 10 minutes and make sure they look good, and make sure their makeup's in place, and their nails are long, and make sure that everybody sees their beauty too. They got to take them pictures of themselves and display them out there. Look how pretty I am, look at this pose, and just look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. But they're not really looking at you, or rather they're not really looking at the real you. They're looking at an outwardly you. And when you go to bed, all of that washes off. You gotta wash all that makeup off, and that's the real you. And let's be honest here. Some of you don't look anything like the girl in your pictures with a filter and the bronzer, and all that contouring. You want to look like the real you all the time. And you want to be the real you all the time. But I just, again, I look at these older, and I don't even know why I'm even bringing them up, but celebrities like Madonna. What the hell is up with that? She's like 70 years old, and she's trying to look like she's 40 or something, or maybe even younger, like she's 30, and it's just like, it's creepy. It's creepy, you all. Like, I can't imagine trying to look 30 years old, being 70 years old, when everything else inside you is old. It's kind of like, it kind of gives you like the Ed Gein kind of vibes, where you're putting on a mask and the rest of you is, ugh, no, just be the real you, try to age gracefully, like if you want to get a little bit of injections here and there, fine, I'm fine with that, not that I've done it. I want to do it. The husband don't let me, but I'm good with that, but not to the point where they're going to be like duck lips or inflatable lips, or those big old bony cheeks, or just where you're not going to look natural, in other words, or you end up looking like a cat eventually. I love cats, but I don't want to look like a cat. I don't want to look like my cat. Although I do tell her that she's very pretty all the time. But I don't want to look like her. I just say, "You're so pretty, Mama. I love you so much. You're so pretty. Mama wants to be pretty just like you." That's what I tell her. But she says, "There's no way you can. You just can't. I'm sorry. But you're still my mother, and I love you." That's what she tells me. But like that. I know I was being silly there for a minute, but you know how a pet can love you so unconditionally? And that's the way we should love each other. Pets can look right into your soul. They look at your eyes, and they can see right into your soul. And they know if you're a good person or not. Some of us, as humans, we can have that ability as well. We can tell when somebody's good or not. And some people are just so ugly. Like, after you meet certain people, you just want to go home and shower. That's how ugly they are. And let me go this direction now with this. The past couple of days, I don't like the holidays. I do and I don't. Let me tell you why. Hold on, y'all. Let me see what this is. Oh no, that's not the one. I do and I don't because I'm still trying to adjust the volume to where it doesn't sound alone. It's a time that you spend with your family, the food, you know, you're eating. Although my appetite hasn't been really good lately, my digestive system has been really off ever since I had that pizza that day. It's just, I've been very bloated and gassy. I know, TMI, but I've had issues ever since then, to the point where I'm now taking an antibiotic for it because it's just not working for me. I'll eat and I'll just eat very little, and even though I'm still hungry, I can't eat anymore because I'll feel really sick. You know, I'll get really bloated. And yes, I have been going to the bathroom and everything, but yeah, I just don't feel good. I don't feel good. And I feel very sluggish. And I'm thinking maybe I need fiber. You know, maybe I need some Metamucil. I don't know. Because I was constipated for a couple of days. That could explain my mood. But, you know, I'm fine now. And anyhow, people have been very ugly. They have. You know, I was at the market last week, and some older lady had one of those hand baskets that you shop with. You know, they're right there. As soon as you walk in, you can grab a basket instead of a cart. And she had one of those, and the employee was walking her towards whatever she was looking for because apparently she couldn't find it. And I was going the opposite direction, you know, and she saw me. She clearly saw me. Well, she sideswipes me with that basket. And I'm like, whoa, you know, and she hit my elbow and everything. And she didn't like slow her speed down. I mean, she was like rushing. Like whatever she was looking for, like it was the last item in stock and she had to get to it before anybody else did. And I don't know what item this was, but I'm just saying that's how she was rushing to get to it. That she didn't even bother to be courteous enough to move over, you know, or move her basket to the other side when she saw me coming. Or rather, when she came towards me. And there was nowhere else for me to move because the side that I was on, you had all your freezers there. I was already in that section where all the freezers are. And there was nowhere else to move. And even though I did try to move over some more because I saw that she was coming right at me, it didn't work. She still ended up hitting me. And here's the thing. She didn't even turn around and acknowledge that she hit me. She just like, very ballsy lady, very ballsy older lady, that she just did that and she kept going. No apology, nothing. This is kind of loud again. Nothing, you know, and I was just like, wow, but we're supposed to respect them. We're supposed to respect these boomers, right? But yet they have no respect for us. Like, wow. Or maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know what that is. It looks like there's a cross there. Maybe it's a sign. I don't know. I just noticed it right now. Look. I get distracted all the time. You see it right there? On the grass? It's like in the grass. It has to be some kind of sign or something, right? Anyhow. That happened at the market, right? Okay. I ordered some stuff from the Bath and Body. First, my son wanted to go to Kohl's. Everything went smoothly at Kohl's. Yes, there was a long line. There's always a long line at Kohl's. It's annoying. There was a guy in front of us that he actually made my day because he was holding an outfit, a Santa outfit for an adult woman. And he was very proudly holding, you know what I mean? Proudly. And I was like, I gotta see this. I would love to see this. You know, I'm not gonna, but I would have loved to see it. It would have been really entertaining. But anyway, so that went well. Then afterwards, I told my son, let's go to the Bath and Body so I can pick up my order. So he's like, okay. First, he wanted to look around. You know, he's really into that aromatherapy section. And he's always buying himself some kind of cream. He loves that stuff. Especially the eucalyptus. He says it relaxes him after a stressful day here at work. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know? And he was undecided, so he was just like, you know what, let's just get your order and let's get out, because there was a lot of people. It's a small Bath and Body at that location, and there was a lot of people in there, and I'm like, why does everybody bring everybody with them? I'm talking like they bring the mom, the dad, the 4 kids, and the grandma. And I'm like, why does everybody have to come? Why? Anyway, there's a long line to pay. Okay, well, where there's a long line to pay, there's a section to the right where you go pick up your orders. So I walked over there, and I wanted to make sure that I can just pick up my order and go, or do I have to stand in line? There was a girl behind the counter there on that far right side where you pick up your orders. And I just went up to her and I said, ma'am, is this where we still pick up our orders, or do I need to get in line and wait my turn? And she's like, oh, no, I'll be right with you. I can help you. Give me just a second. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Well, I turn around, and the next person that's in line to pay is giving me this dirty look, like, if looks could kill you all, she would have done it. She would have done it. And I was just like, whoa, okay, you know, like, I'm here to pick up an order that I already paid for, lady. Like, you're barely buying stuff. Like, that's not my fault. Had you already pre-purchased, you could have just picked up your order and not wait in line. Well, she was next. And this was kind of a big lady. I'm not going to say she was fat, but she was big bone, you know, big bone and you know, whatever. And she was standing right next to me, right? And these registers are so close together. However, not only did she take up her side, but she was starting to take up my side, and I didn't know where to move. And she kept trying to bump me with her big old hips. And I'm like, okay, lady, calm down, you know? And I was about to ask the girl, should I move somewhere else? I mean, is there somewhere else you want me to wait? Because, I mean, apparently, yeah, they need all this space right now, you know? But at that moment, the other girl comes with my order. She hands it to me. And when I turn around, I see that my son's in line with a cream. He decided on a cream. And I'm like, great. So I wait on the other side, away from everybody, you know? And still people managed to bump into me. Even though I was on the farthest side away from everybody. And I was like, oh my Lord, you know, and it was getting on my nerves. So then after that, I had the brilliant idea. Do you need anything from Target? Do you want to go to Target? And he's like, yeah, my son loves Target. And I don't know, I just felt like going to Target. I didn't need anything, but I felt like going just go to Target. Big mistake. Big mistake. Even though I wanted to look, I couldn't. There were so many people there. It was horrible. It reminded me as to why I don't like to go shopping. It reminded me as to why I shop online and just go pick it up or have it delivered, you know? We're there. My son runs into a girl that he went to high school with. They're talking. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to be the cock blocker here. I am just going to go walk around. And I told him, I'll be right back. And he's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And I'm just like, well, thanks, you know? So I go walk around the whole Target, trying to stay out of everybody's way, you know? I start looking through things like, I wonder if I need this. No, I don't need it, you know? And then I was like, maybe I should go to the women's section. Well, I passed by the women's section and it was packed with women. And I was like, no, I don't need anything from there. And I went back all the way to the coffee section, and there was a little girl there with her family. And I'm telling you, it was the mom, 4 kids, and the grandma. And I'm like, what is this with the 4 kids? Anyway, one of the little girls was like, when are we going to go eat? Where are we going to go eat? I'm hungry. And the grandma's like, be quiet. We'll go eat when we're going to go eat. You just be quiet. And I was like, wow. You're like, okay. Like, I guess I'm not invited, And so I go back. I look for my son. And they're still talking. And I'm just like, at this point, I'm putting my hand on my hip like, that's enough. I cannot walk this Target anymore. And I was getting ready to tell him, you know what? I'll go wait for you in the damn car because I am not going to walk around anymore with all these people here, And so we finally left. And I told him, I was about to leave you. I was about to just go to the car and just leave you in there with her, And he's like, you should have. And I said, are you serious? And he's like, yeah, you could have just texted me. Don't call me, but you could have texted me. And I would have been like, okay. And I would have come out eventually, And I was like, okay, well, next time I'll do that. I have no problem with that, you all. I don't think my son's rude for saying that to me. I have no problem. I want him to have a girlfriend, And she kind of looked like the girl from from his room. Like the one that I've posted on here, the mannequin, Ellie, from The Last of Us. That girl kind of looked like her. She was really pretty and long, pretty dark hair, I really liked her for him. But I'm like, okay. So they, they got each other. They're going to get in touch with each other and stuff. Hopefully it'll work out. I don't know if she has a boyfriend or not. I didn't ask my son. My son doesn't like me to ask personal questions. So I'm just like, okay, I'll let just nature take its course, right? So anyway, we went to Sam's after that. That's where I made a mistake again. And not only did I make a mistake, it went really south to the point where I was ready to throw hands, you all. These hands right here. I was ready to throw these hands. Oh my gosh. Sam's was super packed to the max. And I needed to get waters, paper towels, and paper plates. That's it. That's all I needed. Well, I was in the very back. And my son didn't want to take the cart because he was afraid of hitting somebody. Well, guess who got hit? Yep, I did. This lady that wasn't paying attention with her child in the cart, she was on her phone. I saw that she was on her phone and I'm like, ugh, I don't care. I'm trying to turn my cart into the aisle where the paper plates are, right? And as I'm turning, I see her coming right at me with her cart. And she keeps coming at me closer and closer and closer. And I'm trying to turn in a hurry. And I'm trying to push this cart with 3 things of water. 3 packs of water on there. Those heavy waters, the Sam's. And Member's Mark. The Member's Mark. And I was having a hard time turning this cart because look at this. Do I have muscles? Do I have muscles? Look at this, and I turned and I looked at her, and as she was like approaching me, I was like, just a moment, please. Well, a lot of good that did, because she ends up hitting me with her cart on my left hip. And yes, it did hurt. It was kind of hard. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I said, you need to watch where you're going. And she's like, oh my God. And I'm like, are you serious right now? You are not paying attention to where you're going and you're saying, oh my God, to me? Like it was my fault that you hit me? I'm sorry that you hit me with your cart. I'm sorry you weren't paying attention. And she's like, oh, damn. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm sure you would have reacted so peacefully if I would have hit you with a cart, lady. I ended up turning. I got my plates. She went the other direction. I ended up doing that scan and go. I wanted to get the hell out of there. I'm so glad that they have a scan and go. I paid with my card on the app and we were out of there. And here comes my son now. Tomorrow I have another topic for you all that I think you will enjoy. At least I hope you do. Anyhow, just in case I don't, happy Thanksgiving and thank you for listening. Love you all. Bye.